The Indian Ocean is a vast and strategically vital waterway. Spanning over 70 million square kilometers, it connects the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia with the rest of the world. Its importance cannot be overstated. It is home to some of the world's busiest shipping lanes. These lanes are the lifelines of global trade, facilitating the movement of goods between continents. These lanes carry trillions of dollars in goods each year. From consumer electronics to raw materials, the cargo that traverses these waters is essential for the global economy. The Indian Ocean is also rich in natural resources, including oil and gas reserves. These resources are critical for the energy needs of many nations, making the region a focal point for energy security. For centuries, the Indian Ocean has been a crossroads of trade and culture. Ancient trade routes connected civilizations, fostering cultural exchanges and economic prosperity. Today, it is also a stage for geopolitical competition. Major powers deploy their naval forces to secure their interests and project their influence. Two of the world's fastest-growing economies, China and India, are vying for influence in the region. Their ambitions are evident in the numerous infrastructure projects they are undertaking. This competition is playing out in a number of ways, including naval deployments, infrastructure projects, and diplomatic engagements. The stakes are high. Both nations are investing heavily in building ports, highways, and other critical infrastructure to secure their foothold. The outcome of this competition will have a profound impact on the future of the Indo-Pacific region and the world. The balance of power in this region could shift dramatically, influencing global trade and security. The Indian Ocean is not just an important trade route. It is a crucial artery for the transportation of energy resources. It is also a vital energy corridor. The Strait of Malacca, a narrow waterway between Malaysia and Indonesia, is one of the most critical choke points in the world. A significant portion of the world's oil and gas supplies pass through the Strait of Malacca, a narrow waterway between Malaysia and Indonesia. This makes it a strategic choke point that is closely monitored by global powers. This makes the region crucial for the energy security of many countries, including China, India, Japan, and South Korea. The stability and security of the Indian Ocean are paramount for these nations to ensure a steady supply of energy. Beyond trade and energy, the Indian Ocean is also a vital source of food and livelihood for millions of people. Its rich marine biodiversity supports extensive fishing industries. Coastal communities across the region depend on the ocean for their economic well-being. From fishing to tourism, the Indian Ocean plays a central role in their daily lives. However, the region faces significant environmental challenges. Pollution, overfishing, and climate change threaten the delicate balance of its ecosystems. Conservation efforts are crucial to preserving the ocean's health for future generations. International cooperation is essential to address these challenges. Countries must work together to ensure the sustainable use of the Indian Ocean's resources and to maintain peace and stability in the region. The Indian Ocean is not just a body of water, it is a tapestry of diverse cultures, histories, and traditions. Its significance extends beyond economics and geopolitics, touching the very essence of human civilization. As the sun sets over the Indian Ocean, it serves as a reminder of the enduring importance of this vast and dynamic region, a prize worth fighting for indeed. China's rise as a global power is reshaping the geopolitical landscape of the Indian Ocean. This transformation is not just a fleeting moment in history, but a carefully orchestrated strategy that has been years in the making. Central to this ambition is the Belt and Road Initiative, a massive infrastructure development project launched by Chinese President Xi Jinping in 2013. The BRI is not merely a series of construction projects, it is a grand vision aimed at enhancing global trade and economic integration. The BRI aims to connect China with Southeast Asia, South Asia, Central Asia, Africa, and Europe through a network of roads, railways, pipelines, and ports. This extensive network is designed to facilitate smoother and faster movement of goods, services, and people across continents, thereby boosting economic growth and development. The maritime component of the BRI, known as the Maritime Silk Road, is particularly relevant to the Indian Ocean. This ancient trade route is being revitalized to serve modern economic and strategic interests, linking key maritime hubs and creating new opportunities for trade and investment. China is investing heavily in port construction and development in countries like Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Djibouti. These investments are not just about building infrastructure, they are about forging strong economic ties and creating dependencies that can be leveraged for strategic gains. These ports are not merely commercial ventures, they are seen as strategic assets that could enhance China's naval presence and project power far from its shores. The dual-use nature of these ports, serving both civilian and military purposes, adds a layer of complexity to the geopolitical dynamics of the region. China's port investments have raised concerns among India and its allies. The fear is that these ports could be used to monitor and potentially control key maritime routes, thereby undermining the security and sovereignty of neighboring countries. They fear that China is pursuing a string of pearls strategy. This strategy involves establishing a network of naval bases and logistics hubs that could encircle India and threaten its security. Each pearl in this string represents a strategic foothold that could be used to project military power and influence. This refers to the establishment of a network of naval bases and logistics hubs that could encircle India and threaten its security. The strategic positioning of these bases allows China to maintain a sustained naval presence in the Indian Ocean, thereby enhancing its ability to project power and influence in the region. While China maintains that its intentions are purely economic, its growing military presence in the Indian Ocean is undeniable. The frequent naval exercises and the deployment of advanced military assets in the region suggest a long-term strategy aimed at securing China's interests and expanding its influence. This dual approach, combining economic initiatives with military capabilities, underscores the complexity and ambition of China's rise as a global power. Two of the most significant ports in China's maritime Silk Road are Gwadar in Pakistan and Hambantota in Sri Lanka. These ports are not just ordinary maritime hubs, they are pivotal nodes in China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative. These ports are located at strategically important locations along key shipping routes in the Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean is a critical maritime corridor, facilitating a significant portion of the world's trade and energy supplies. Gwadar, situated at the mouth of the Persian Gulf, gives China access to the oil-rich Middle East. This port is a gateway to the Arabian Sea and provides a direct route to the Middle Eastern markets. It also provides a shorter route for energy imports, bypassing the Strait of Malacca. The Strait of Malacca is one of the world's busiest shipping lanes, and by using Gwadar, China can avoid potential choke points and reduce transit times. Hambantota, located near the southern tip of India, sits astride vital shipping lanes connecting Asia, Africa, and Europe. This port's strategic position allows it to serve as a key transshipment hub, enhancing trade connectivity across continents. Both Gwadar and Hambantota have been leased to Chinese companies for long periods. These long-term leases have enabled China to establish a significant presence and influence in these regions. This has raised concerns that China could use these ports for military purposes despite Beijing's denials. The dual-use potential of these ports for both commercial and military activities has been a point of contention. The presence of Chinese warships and submarines in the Indian Ocean has only heightened these concerns. Naval activities in these waters are closely monitored by regional powers, wary of China's expanding maritime footprint. China's port investments are part of a broader strategy to secure its maritime interests. These investments are not isolated incidents, but are part of a calculated effort to enhance China's strategic depth in the Indian Ocean. By establishing a network of ports and logistical facilities, China aims to protect its sea lanes of communication and ensure the smooth flow of energy and resources. This network, often referred to as the String of Pearls, is designed to bolster China's maritime security and economic interests. However, these actions are being carefully watched by India and other regional powers, who view China's growing presence with suspicion. The strategic rivalry in the Indian Ocean is intensifying, with regional powers seeking to counterbalance China's influence and ensure their own security and economic interests. Section 4. India's Balancing Act, Countering China's Rise. India, with its long coastline and strategic location in the Indian Ocean, views China's rise with a mix of apprehension and determination. New Delhi is acutely aware of the challenges posed by Beijing's growing assertiveness. It is pursuing a multi-pronged strategy to safeguard its interests and counter China's influence. One key aspect of India's strategy is to strengthen its own naval capabilities. India is investing heavily in modernizing its navy, acquiring new warships, submarines, and aircraft. It is also enhancing its maritime domain awareness by deploying surveillance aircraft and unmanned aerial vehicles. India is also actively engaging with other regional powers to build strategic partnerships. This includes countries like Japan, Australia, the United States, and France, all of which share India's concerns about China's growing influence in the Indian Ocean. Section 5. The Quad, a democratic alliance, takes shape. A key element of India's response to China's rise has been the revitalization of the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, or Quad. This informal strategic forum brings together Australia, India, Japan, and the United States. Though not a formal military alliance, the Quad represents a growing convergence of interests among these four democratic countries. The Quad's focus on a free and open Indo-Pacific is widely seen as a counter to China's assertive behavior in the region. While the Quad insists that it is not directed against any specific country, its activities, including joint naval exercises and maritime security cooperation, are clearly aimed at addressing the challenges posed by China's growing military might. The Quad's resurgence highlights the shifting geopolitical landscape in the Indo-Pacific. It also underscores the growing willingness of regional powers to push back against China's assertive behavior. The Quad's future trajectory and its effectiveness in shaping the regional security architecture remain to be seen. However, its emergence is a clear sign of the changing dynamics in the Indo-Pacific.